Good morning, happy
Morning,
Monday.
brother.
All right, yeah, woo,
All right, on
woo.
Monday
All
morning,
right.
get after
Oh,
it.
we're gonna get after it for
Let's go.
sure. Oh yeah, oh yeah. So it is. What is this? November 9th. Um, End of the year. It's holiday season. Holiday season looking a little different this year, but nonetheless, it's one of my favorite times of the year. Um, and I know 2021, we're going to be turning a corner for the country, for our real estate. And I would say we're already turning a corner regarding real estate. And so before I get into uh, what we're going to get into, I was checking our numbers for Keller Williams,
Right.
and my goal is to hit 100 transactions every single month, a minimum 100 transactions. We hit 104 last month, so congratulations to everybody here. That ratio has been hovering around that 2-to-1. So for every two,
Every
there
agent.
are every agent. So
Yeah.
if there's 50 agents that close, we close 100 transactions. So it's that
Yeah.
2-to-1 ratio.
2 to 1.
We've hit it twice this year, but to put it in some perspective, there's only been in the last 10 years 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've hit in 2012 it was 4 times, 13 it was 6 times, 2014 was just 1 time, 15 and 16 we didn't hit it at all, 17 we hit it once, 18 we hit it 3 times, and in 2019 we hit it once. So think about the inventory that we had is 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. There was a lot. There was plenty. There was plenty. And 50% less inventory, we've hit it twice. So I just wanted to say that because y'all are doing an amazing job. And you actually, Jeremy, we were talking about game plan and what we're going to talk about, and you're like, hey man, check this out. It wasn't even what we were going to talk about, but you're like, you're going to geek out. Listen to this, right? And I was like, so play it, and then I was like, okay, that's what we're going to talk about. So I wanted to go off of this, but it actually does tie in pretty well with what's driving our numbers. So
Absolutely does.
so it's a podcast you listen to. I think Michael Gervais, he has a podcast, and he interviews just top people at their
World-class
profession.
performers, man, in every walk of life. And I've said this to people before. I'm a little bit weird when I'm down in the dungeon at 6:30, 7 in the morning doing my workout. I usually have a podcast on, not music. And again, not that I'm listening to it, it just plays in my ear. You know what I mean? Like what is that thing? It's consumption. What am I hearing all the time?
Yeah.
And these people are constantly talking about how they perform, what it takes to perform, and it doesn't matter. It's in every walk of life, right? Like they did it great here. Can they do it great in the next thing and the next thing? And so I wanted this opening, I literally stopped. I was warming up at the time, so it wasn't like full workout. I was in a stretch thing with some bands, and I heard this, and I literally stopped and rewound it and listened to it again. And knowing us and the moments that we get to share together and the life that we discuss, I was like, dude, I have to play this for you. You just have to hear it. You have to hear this. So, and you said, let's do it today. So I'm pumped, man. I hope everybody hears what we hear, and let's chat about it. So, ladies and gentlemen, here's a little Michael Gervais talking to Tiana Bartoletta, who is a multiple-time gold medalist in track and field. So here you go.
Confidence comes from my competence, which I developed in training. So in that moment, when we fast forward back to the Olympic final, I know I can do it. I've done it every day for 40 weeks. And am I willing to do it here in this environment under pressure? Because all of us are world-class athletes. All of us are the best in the world there. But the difference between myself and someone else, or the reason I'm so much harder to beat, even when I'm not the best jumper on paper, is my willingness to do it in that moment and not let the noise cut through.
So good.
My confidence comes from my competence, because I've been putting in the work every single day.
Right there.
Oh man, if that doesn't light you up, I don't know. Like, Woo!
So you started, so I want you to go into what you were telling me. That's why I stopped what you were saying. I go, stop, save it, go.
So the context, so just to give everybody a little more context, because I've obviously listened to an hour of it now through this morning's workout. But what she was saying was that she's not the best in the world at jumping. She was speaking of the long jump is what she was talking about. And she's not the best jumper in the world. But what she was the fastest runner on that platform. She was the fastest from start to jumping spot in the world. So she worked on that speed. She knew that speed was what she had over anybody else, because she wasn't trying to fool herself by saying, "Oh, I'm the best jumper. I'm the best jumper." She's not, right? But she was the best at the speed. But what she said was, she got into the technical side of it. She knew that once she hit that platform, she needed to hit it at this spot. She needed to drive her knee to her chest. She needed to pull her knees up for as long as possible, push them forward and fall forward, right? Like that's the jump. And that's the skill side of things. That's the things that she could work at and that she could get better at. She wasn't trying to be the best jumper in the world. What she was trying to have is the farthest jump on that day. She was you got 3 efforts. I'm just trying to be the farthest jumper on that day, not the best jumper. So what she did is, I am the fastest, so I know if I can carry that speed to the platform, I know if I hit it correctly, and I technically do everything right, that speed should carry me farther than any other woman on this day, which is that to me is the most incredible. Think about that, the thinking, right?
Yep.
Gary Keller says all the time, he tells us all the time, right? That leaders, our job is to help people of how they think. That's all she did. The skill is what you work on. The action is when you take it. And then she said, I got to cut through the noise on that day, so that the day, right? You only got one day. All that your 4 years of training for one day, one moment in time. And so think about our days. Imagine if we train every day, and then just take that moment and do it. Take that moment and apply what you've learned, apply what you have. Because like she said, you're all world-class athletes in something, right?
Yep.
The athlete could be whatever. You're world-class people in something. You're world-class realtors in something. You're world-class business owners. But like Gary says, our job is to teach people how to think so that they can do and have what they want when they want it. And when we do that, man, it's like, that's the message. That's the thing for everybody to understand is, I was enthralled in this. I couldn't get enough of this, because it's just learning her framework of how she thinks and how she prepares for her days. Because again, I got to go do it every day.
Yep.
And she would not have, she says this later on, I wouldn't have that confidence if I didn't put in the work. But I know the work is in.
Yep. Now
it's just execution. Ladies and gentlemen, the work is in. Execute. Here we go.
So one, obviously she has the natural ability, but then there's that training that lifts her to that next level. And so, think about it this way. And so it's those technical skills that elevate her to be a multi-earner of a gold medalist, right?
Yep.
So when you're thinking about it related to real estate, let's just say that you are extremely good at talking with people one-on-one and you're very personable, right? And so if you can get in front of that person, lights out, done deal, close the books, right?
Right.
And so what has to happen in order for you to get in front of more people? Now it comes down to those technical skills of being able to go out and get that appointment. So what is there, right? One, we have to pick up the phone. So that's a skill set, right? Then we have to have dialogue, right? That's a skill set. Then we have to actually close for the appointment. That's a skill set. So you may not be the best at picking up the phone or having the script to get the appointment, or even closing the appointment, because having the script and then closing, They're two separate things. So you have to isolate each one and work on it. And then once you're able to get in front of that person, you know it's a done deal. Right?
Yeah, there it is.
Work on those skills. That's it.
Skill set, right? It comes back down. We've said this in the past, and I say it again today, is that, you know, it's mindset plus skill set plus action set, like the activity set, like all those sets. We got 3 sets, right? Mind, skill, and activity. And when you combine those 3 over time with consistency, you're unstoppable. You're
Amen.
unstoppable.
Yeah.
Man.
And it's constant training though. I mean,
yeah,
there's days like I know I'm pretty decent on the phone, and that's I was not that way when I started. Let me tell you, fall face first, boom. I mean, just over and over and over again. It was just a matter of time and perfecting kind of my style, you know?
Yeah.
So
I think that's a very good statement, D, is that you need to create your style. As much as you and I enter with our competitive natures and our backgrounds and whatnot, right? The style is different. You know what I mean? How we deliver and what we do is different, which is what makes a team great, right? But at the same time, I can't do it your way. And if I tried to make you do it my way, you'd be like, this is terrible. Like, doesn't feel good, right? Like, but when you find that style, when you've done it enough, that's the point, right? When you've put enough time in, when you've practiced it, and we still do. You and I still practice every morning.
For sure.
I mean, we do. We don't turn that record on. We don't go live until we've talked it out, till we've had a little bit, you know. Sometimes it's 5 or 10 minutes. Sometimes it's 20 or 30, right? Is because you have to be prepared. And then once you're ready, either one of us, how many times you did it to me today where you're like, stop, don't say another word. I got to hit the button. Let's go. Right.
Yeah.
And it goes vice versa. There's other days where I'm like, dude, everything you're saying is gold. Stop. Let's go. Right.
Yeah, for sure.
I hope people understand that. Get on Jess's class in the morning, get on the Monday morning calls, like get your mind going, man. Cause that's what's going to feed it. And then just go. Turn on record or make those calls or get those people get in front of those people and start creating it, man. It all has to do with how you think.
That's it.
And then get your skills and then take action. I love it, man.
Well, cheers, sir.
Boom.
Coffee.
Y'all get after it today.
Week. Let's get after it.
Let's go.